Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to go through a very simple method of creating a rig for a bipedal character. In particular, I'll be focusing more on the spine, so we can have a bendy spine, and that the entire rig scales uniformly. That's very important, okay? Because if you move your character into a new scene, perhaps the environment is quite large, you need to scale your character up, etc. Okay, so let's get started here. And emphasis here is I'm just going through a very quick workflow, not talking too much, not beating around the bush, getting straight into it. Okay, so we go skeleton. Here are the setup that I have for creating joints. Okay, all right, it's a reset tool, so it's just stock standard. So skeleton, create joints. I'm in the front view when I create my spine. I'm going to hold X to place my first joint on the grid. I hold shift to create my other joint. Shift again, and I'm going to create four for the spine. This will be the neck. I'll even call this one neck joint, J and T. I'll call this one the root J and T for joint. Next one up, I'll call spine 1, spine 1, J and T for joint. Okay, this would be spine 2, J and T. So I'm just working my way up. 3, J and T. Cool. All right, there they are there, if you're wondering. All right. Okay, next up, I'm going to create, why not? I'll create a leg joint, so skeleton, joints again. I'm going to come out a little bit here, hold X, now shift, drag down. This will be the knee. Out here, this will be the ankle. All right, and of course the foot. Hit enter. That'll be the toe actually. So I'll call this L underscore toe J and T. Let's go up through that. This will be L for left side, ankle underscore J and T. Whoops, and this one will be the knee. So L underscore knee joint, and the L underscore leg joint. L underscore leg joint. So great. Now I'll also create the joints for the arm, which will be, that's the neck, so about here, X, that's the collarbone. This will be my shoulder, my elbow, my arm, wrist, sorry. Okay, that'll do for now. Cool. Now I'm going to parent this one into my spine here, and I'll parent this one into the root P. So we've got ourselves a basic bipedal skeleton, correct? I'm going to call these ones L underscore. Trying to do this quick as I can. This is collar, joint, L underscore shoulder, joint, L underscore elbow, joint, and we got L underscore wrist joint. Okay, cool. All right, everything's named. Fantastic. Get into the habit of naming all your joints when you create them. That way you don't have to come back through and do all that. Now I'm going to grab that knee, W. I'm going to hold D to just pull it out a little bit, not too far. This helps promote the bend angle, and this one, the elbow, D, and pull it back a little bit, helps to promote the angle when we create the IK handles. Let's do an IK handle now. Skeleton, create IK handle. Here are the settings. I turn off, just like that, yep. I think that's just stock standard. Select the shoulder, and then left click the wrist. There we go, got ourselves an IK handle. What's important with IK handles is the direction of the white arrow is pointing in the direction of the elbow, or the joint should pop out. Okay, same as the knee. Let's do the knee. Skeleton, create IK handle. We go to the hip, and down to the right down here to the ankle. Once again, check the direction. Yes, it's pointing forwards. Okay, great. I can undo that. Let's just fix that foot. I'll bring it up a bit. That should be about there. All right, cool. Now the stage I really wanted to show you, and that is creating the spine. So to create the spine, we're going to go skeleton, and we're going to not create an IK handle, but IK spline handle. Options, make sure auto parent curve like this is on. Number of spans to 1. That's all I go for. Here's my setup. I think by default, auto parent's on. Right. So let's go for it. I start from the top up here, and I go down to the root. Okay. Now, if that's set up correctly, if I click here and here, you should be able to click on, or turn off the joint so you don't select the joints. You should be able to select that and come up. There they are, these little pink dots. So these are like the vertices for the spline, or the curve, sorry. So I'll grab the first one there. There it is, of the curve, right? And I'm going to go deform cluster. We want to create clusters. Little C. There's our first cluster. Let's grab the next one down here. Just hit G on your keyboard to create the same tool. G again. Grab the bottom one and G again. I've got 4 of them now. I like to name them normally. Cluster 1 top. Why not? Cluster 2. I'll call this one, say, spine. So top spine 1. This one 3. Actually, no, I could have. Yeah, I'll call it spine. Why not? Spine 2. I know it's got cluster 2 spine 1, cluster 3 spine 1. That's a little bit. So I'll just get rid of that. The 2. Just to make it easier for myself. There we go. Okay. And this will be the cluster root. That's what I'll call it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now you notice you can grab these and they move that control, which is great. Not the control. See the spine. Awesome. That's what we want. Now let's create a bunch of controls for that. So create NURBS curve circle. Create a circle. Bring it up, and I'm going to scale this one out a bit more so we can all see it properly. And what we want to do here, that looks like V, it's snapped. I hold V to snap it to the center, right? And I'll call this one hip control. Straight away modify freeze transforms. Very important. That way we can always come back to it. Now control D to duplicate, bring it up. I'll scale this one down a bit more so we can differentiate the difference. W, V to snap it, center there. Okay, so this will be not hip, this will be spine. Spine control 1. Modify, freeze. Let's go again. Control D, bring it up, hold V, snap that up. Yep, this will be spine control 2. Modify, freeze. One more, control D, bring it right up here, and this will be the top of the spine, of course. V. Okay, like that. Spine control, or we'll even, yeah, spine control. It's not quite a neck, is it? Here's your neck. You could have your head going on top of that, like that. Modify, freeze. Now what we want to do, these little clusters, remember the clusters? They're the clusters there. We want these to be parented to that, to move with it. So grab this first, and we'll shift select spine 1, or sorry, control the top, and I'm going to go constrain parent. Do it to the next one, to this one, G, that one to that one, G. So we're just constraining them. And then this one, whoops, to the root and G. Okay, just to confirm it's working. Yep, it's moving. Cool. Okay, neat. So next up, what we want to do is create a main character control, also referred to in the industry as a super mover. So we'll create another circle. This time I'm going to scale it right up like that. Okay, bring it down. Ideally, I should have brought the hips up higher so the feet are at world zero, but I can bring it up later. Not a biggie. I'll put it about here for now. Okay, I'll call this main control for now. There you go. Okay, modify, freeze. Now, here's the thing. This is important. Select your root. Oh, I better turn it back on. There, the root joint, and Control G. That's now grouped it to itself. And I'll just call this root group. Why not? See that? All right. Now it's that root group that we're going to take everything else and eventually parent them under. And that root group will be parented to this one. Let's test that. First, I'm going to create one more control. What for? For our wrist. I'll bring that up over here. Rotate a little bit. Now I'm going to scale it up a bit. I better call that wrist control. Left wrist control, just call it wrist control. Modify, freeze, and that, remember, is our IK handle for the wrist. It should be constrained to our wrist control. So I'll go constrain parent, so it should move with it, and it does. Great. So now I should be able to grab this, select, actually no, I'll grab that, and that. And I'm going to, so I've just grabbed all of these ones, holding shift. I'm going to drag them into the root group, right? And then the root group will be inside the main control. There's our main controller. So theoretically, that should all scale uniformly, and it does. Fantastic. Okay, this is what you're after. This is very important that you have this so as it can scale uniformly. All right, so now I will create, I've actually got an IK handle for the foot, but I forgot to create the IK foot control. So I'll do that too. Create nerve circle, bring it down, holding V, scale it to make it look like a foot control, bring it down a bit, you know, where you feel the foot would be. Call it foot control. Okay, should be left foot control. Modify, freeze, and once again, this one will follow that. So the IK handle. So constrain, parent. So now it should follow it, and it does. Awesome. And this one will be parented once again into the main control. So it should still all scale, and it does. Fantastic. Okay guys, so that's it in a nutshell. Okay, bare bones, pardon the pun, but it's working. I could now position this up here. I could grab my foot control, move it up, even grab my wrist, bring it in, bring it down. I haven't added pole vectors yet for the elbows or the knee, but just so as you know, it all scales uniformly. And I can grab these controls, the spine, and I've got this nice flexi control going on. Okay guys, see that? Cool. Look at that. And I should be able to grab this, move it over, and it works. Okay, I will just quickly, so that's the end of the tutorial, but I will show you, for those who are not sure about a creating a pole vector. So, which is basically an elbow control or a knee control. I'm just creating another control here. V, snap it to the knee. W, pull it out. E, rotate it with J to incrementally rotate. Okay, and this one here will be my knee control. I'm going to control D that for the elbow control, so I don't have to recreate. So modify, freeze, call it knee control. And to create the pole vector, you simply select that, select your IK handle, and then constrain pole vector. There we go. All right. So I'll do it quickly for this one too, just to show you. Here's the elbow, V to snap it, so as I know it's perpendicular to the elbow. Bring it out, modify, freeze, freeze, give it a name, elbow control, and once again, with it selected, shift select the IK handle for the wrist, and constrain pole vector. Cool. Now these are not a part of that. They're not inside here yet. So they're not parented into the system. See? So best to grab them and drag them into the where is it? Into the root, which is that one, main control. So I'm going to grab both of those, put them inside main control. So it should grab everything still. And there we go, still working. Awesome. Okay guys, thanks for watching. There it is operating. See? Okay.